Hello and welcome back to SpeedyNet, the company that on the 26th of May 1892 made some important decisions, which one you will hear soon. First though, it has been quite a struggle to get this far ahead in time. Now that did not have anything to do with the time itself. I mean, time itself just is. There isn't much to do with it anyway. No, it more had to do with the game being harsh on me, really. Now remember last time I unfolded a grand plan for jacking up the farm supply production all the way over here at the lime kiln, right? Well, I have been working on that plan. I haven't been track building, but I have been working on that plan. And I can tell you that, it's actually, so far, all of the grand plans for profit explosions that I've had, they kind of backfired, did not, really come to fruition. This one just might do. It's not, like a 100% grand success and more. Yeah, but it might work. So, what is the current status then? We're gonna show that in a minute. First, why it has been a struggle is because I have been doing quite some, setting up the plan, adding trains and renewing engines and all that. And I've done that thrice, or however you say it, because the game crashed on me. And not just because all of a sudden out of the blue it crashed, no, it crashed because of some thing that is missing, which I will show you now. Now don't worry, I have saved the game. All we need to do is get ourselves a train here, which we will get. Look, the most simple train. Now watch this. I am going to click with the right mouse button on this wagon over here. There you go. Isn't that just ultra crappy? I mean, the mouse even disappears. I don't know what it is, but this, I can replicate every single time. But I wasn't aware of this really, because at first I kind of misclicked with the right click, whilst I was trying to click on the, outside of the game window, because I don't record this full screen. And it happened to be right on a train. I didn't even notice. Second time, I was kind of like, the thing is, I have big, large hands, and my fingers have heavy bones. So when I lay them to rest on my mouse, by default, both buttons are pushed. So, to prevent that from happening, I kind of had to keep my finger up, in a relaxing way. It doesn't look weird or anything, but, when I get a bit lazy, I might occasionally press the mouse button unintended. And that happened the second time. Both of the times as well, when I was just finished. So, that sucks, right? Well, at least I think so. But this time, we made it. However, it did take far longer than I expected, and I'm a bit grumpy about it. But the good thing is, the plan came to fruition. However, right now, I cannot show you because the game has crashed. So, I'm going to quickly relaunch it, and I'll see you back when things are running again. And so here we are. Now, what is the current status, you might wonder, huh? Well, the grand plan, in case you missed it, was to jack up the oil production so that we would increase our chemicals production, so that we would increase our engineering supply production, so that we would increase the coal production, so that we would increase the farm supply production both over here and with the leftovers over here. And I must admit that has actually happened. So, to give you the current status is that, and this is going to blow your mind away really, but This is our production at the oil well. A freaking million liters a month. A million liters. That's just crazy. It's so much, in fact, that you can see that we pretty much have a continuous vehicle train over here, which is only barely able to keep pulling away the amount of oil produced here. Really, I had more vehicles over here, but that would actually work counterproductive because it would cause traffic jams because there wasn't enough space in between those vehicles, and they would actually haul away less oil. So this is kind of the optimum that I found, but it is not really sufficient, so we really need upgraded vehicles over here for this to work. But that's this one, just this one. Now we have, let me just show you. We have, oh wait, let me sort this by cargo type. We have 4 of these trains hauling away the oil, all 4 of these. You might wonder, like, wow, they look fancy. They don't look like just stake cars with wooden barrels on them. No, they don't, because we have gotten quite a few new locomotives, engines, and other things, which I will get to in a moment. But first, I mean, this is one oil well, which, you know, is, well, adequately supplied with engineering supplies. In fact, there's a bit of a surplus. We don't need as many engineering supplies on this one as we deliver here, but it's not a big difference. Then there are 2 oil wells over here. Now, because they're 2 and the other one is 1 and closer as well, I didn't have enough engineering supplies, or at least not enough production, to get this up to quadruple, you know, the both of them. But both of them do have double production, which, well, you know, is getting close to the production of the other oil well by itself. It's only like 400 off. But that's also pretty decent. Clearly, you can see that we don't need, you know, even half as many vehicles over here. But still, you know, that's a very, very sizable amount of oil that we're now producing. That has increased the chemicals production over here. That much that we now have 2 oil petrol trains, and well, you know, that is kind of enough. But at first, you know, we had 1 which was running this profit. Now we have 2 with the one running a lot more profit. Well, actually, you can see the profit over here. These are the old profits from when before the upgrade happened. We are in May and already we're past like halfway of the profit. In fact, he has already more than doubled his profit. So there you go, huh? I mean, that is how much the production has increased. Now that has led to an increase in engineering supply production over here, which as far as right now, I mean, it hasn't been running that long that I can safely say we have a surplus in production, a big one. I do believe we have a small surplus in the production. And that surplus is there still, despite the fact that I have now lengthened up the one shorter train that goes all the way up north over here. You know, those 2 trains. I had one shorter because the production couldn't keep up. I've lengthened it up, and I think that right now, despite this one being lengthened up, we still have enough, a little bit of a surplus that we can go and spend on the coal mines over here. Now, that won't be enough by far to jack both of these up to quadruple production, but 1 and double, maybe the 2 of them to double, that should be within reach. And if we get them both doubled and then bring that coal over here, we should see a good increase in farm supply production, which we can then start moving over to the farms again. Now, as far as the farm supplies go, we had 2 trains shifting them over towards our sawmill. And the both of them were too longer originally. I had to shorten the both of them by 2 wagons just so that the farm supply production wouldn't drop. I mean, we had like 2,000 here. Right now it is really slowly climbing. It might be almost stabilized. It's at the point where I want it to be. I don't want this to be at or around 0. I want there to always be a small growth, so I know that I will never run out, so I don't need to look after it. Now, that's currently the case. So where are we then? Well, we are now at the point, at the point of the grand decision, where we are going to hook up these coal mines. And not only that, because of the increase in volume of oil trains, this stretcher has become quite busy. Now, I thought that this section over here, where there's basically everything is merging and then everything is going, to other directions, that we would have to upgrade this, just this section in terms of track numbers, but we don't. If we are gonna start adding a lot more trains, we will have to, but for right now we don't. It is just barely capable of handling it. What is not capable of handling all the traffic is this section over here. This is not enough anymore. We need this to be double lane, so yeah, that's another decision, a big decision. Well, it's not really. I mean, we've made so much double lane, but still, we need this to be double lane. Furthermore, these exit tracks need some upgrading, as well as, pretty much this whole new double lane section also needs some looking at. And I should have done that last time, but I recall that I was looking at the clock at some point and I was like, yikes, I've been playing for a long time. I should put an end to this video in specific. So, yeah, I kind of did not do a few things that I should have done, which we will do in a moment after we have looked at the new vehicles. Well, it's not really new vehicles. I'd say, technically speaking, it is new vehicles, it's not new locomotives, but what it is this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Last time we had these, and these new. Now we have this as a new wagon, the new tank wagon. We also have a new boxcar, which is the exact same as this one, but an upgraded version. It can carry more, it is larger, it is bigger, and it can go faster. It is more expensive, it's just better in every way. And that's also about it, but we use the boxcar quite often, so it's a pretty big upgrade actually. And as well as this one, these are like the new wagons that you saw on the oil trains that we had. So all in all, it's pretty good. Now, as far as the trains go, because we were working over here and over here, I took the liberty to upgrade pretty much all the trains that use all these stretches over here. And I took a look at what the amount of trains were that we needed, and I did cut down the numbers a bit. I mean, we had 3 over here. I made just 1 long train of it. And the same over here, I cut down the numbers a little bit. So, that's all good. I mean, the other bad thing is that if we now go to vehicles, you can see that we have surpassed the 1,000. It's not really that great, I mean, the game, I can notice it, that the game is starting to slow down a little bit, especially in this zoomed out, this zoomed out view. When it's running, you'll notice, look, see, it goes quite choppy because there's just so much that it needs to calculate. So that is mainly because, well, we have trains, we have lots of them, I agree, but we have 315, whilst we have this many road vehicles. And that really needs to drop that number. I've set the limit to 5,000, but if we go to 5,000, I'm pretty sure that it's unplayable. So, vehicle upgrades, please. Now, there's a thing, regarding vehicle upgrades. And that is, actually, technically, it's not vehicle upgrades, it's tram upgrades, really. Because, well, this one we had last time too, but if we go to the tram, you can now see that we have a new passenger tram. I believe, yeah, it's this. No, is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, right? It can carry more passengers, it is faster, and it's only slightly more expensive. It is a bit more unreliable though, so I don't really know if it's worth upgrading. I mean, these trams aren't that old either, so I don't really know if it's worth. We could do so, you know. In fact, you know what? We'll do that right now. Passenger trams, huh? We are going to upgrade all of you. Wow. We don't really have any horse trams anymore. We have 0. I don't know why they're still in the list then, but fine. Then we will upgrade these to... yeah, I guess the all-twin passenger tram, right? This is the one. It's better in every way. Start replacing. And the same really for the cargo, because, well, cargo, it is just a mail tram really. But look, we now have this one, whereas before we were using this one. So we're just gonna do the exact same thing with the mail tram as well. It's not really that many vehicles anyway, but... and I could have done this off camera whilst I was balancing, but I thought it might be cool, so you can see, you know, what I've been doing. Replace all vehicles now, yes. Start replacing. There. Right. Now, there is, and that is also a really, really big thing, there is one more thing, as Steve Jobs would have said. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Electrified railway construction. We have it now. And because, you know, I don't build tracks without recording, I haven't seen them yet, so let's build a few, right? Now, it could be... ooh, they look fancy. They don't look like... ooh. That's looking cool. I don't believe that this is how they looked at real on, really. I believe they looked different. Nice, I like this. Now, that means, we also have a electric locomotive, and that is quite early on. I mean, well, actually, 1892, maybe electricity was already long invented by now. What we do have, in any case, is this, the electric interurban, which is an utter crappy thing, but it is for passengers only, really, so that shows. Look, it's slow, it is weak, and it is for passengers, really. We are not even going to use this, as we have, well, actually, this thing is, it is quite cheap to run, but money isn't really that much of an issue, and besides, it is cheap to buy, it's also cheap to run. But we are not after, with these expensive trains, we're still making a profit. I want speed, I want performance over money, so, because with performance comes the money. So, yeah, now you are pretty much up to date with whatever I've been doing. We need to do some track building, and, well, before we tackle the big projects, we need to do a few small ones. First thing that we need to do, and well, I'll revert this back to normal railway construction for now, because we aren't using electrified electrified locomotives. Hear me talking. No, we don't use electric engines, so there's no need for us to upgrade the tracks yet. Once we have viable locomotives, then I will do so, but. In any case, what we need is a bridge over here, because the problem is that a lot of the, pretty much all the oil trains over here need to go over to this stretch, right? I mean, this is where they need to be. That means that they all need to go on the inner lane. I want to provide, you know, the same exit possibilities from the outer lane too. So we need to do some extra hooking up here, which we will do right now. Right, and now this provides all the trains with the necessary options. So there we go. Of course, this is still a very busy station, and well, you know, we're gonna see pileups over here occasionally, as well over here. You know, traffic still comes in waves. Right now we're in one of the calm moments. At times there are pileups over here, like we have right now over here, for example. See. There are moments it can't handle the traffic, there are moments that it can handle it just fine. So really, it is at the border of not being able to handle it. Not enough for me to fix anything. But we have more things to do than just staring at this very busy section of our network, if not the most busy section of our network. What we also need to do, I mean, we've addressed this station's exit. What we also need to do is kind of take a look at our switches and our traffic balancing in our network, which is a thing that I did not do the very last time, you know, when I quickly, stopped the video whilst there were still things to do. Now, one thing that I have noticed is that this switch is way too close to this junction. It needs to be a good amount earlier in the network. Ideally over here or right in front of the bridge. Now I think this is a bit too far away. This would have been the ideal spot, but hey, there's a bridge, so it ain't gonna happen there. So what we'll do is we will make this switch right over here. Come on now, train, move along now, you. There. Then we'll quickly add the signals there. Now this is a much better spot. You might wonder why. Well, what was happening is that, you know, a train got a breakdown, or it had to wait over here. Now the train had to wait, and oh my good lord, we don't have signals there? We do have now, but wow, that was bad. In any case, what happened was that a train had to wait over here for this bridge. Another one had to wait, which was blocking this way, including the crossing. So, yeah, you know, that's why we need to move it a little bit further in front. Next, there was another section which I had noticed needed some attention. Well, it wasn't over here. I mean, things over here are just fine. Yeah, over here, this one. I didn't really, you know, think about this that much, but really, just making this a one-way crossing is kind of poor. I know there's a junction over here, so, you know, it's always better to have a full crossing over here than just, you know, a one-way crossing, which is what this is. So we'll quickly adjust this. There, now that was quick and easy, and the cool thing is that this makes it so that a train can only go one way on it, really, and it's cool. I couldn't made it over here, so I made it like this. It's a bit longer, it looks cool, I think. So now another thing that I noticed was right over here, basically, you know, this is a junction, and well, we have a crossing over here. I'm thinking this might be the wrong spot for it, you know. There are quite a few pileups occasionally over here, but we do have it over here. It's a bit iffy, you know. It's like, is it just nitpicking, you know, to move it over to right in front over here, which would be like the ideal spot? Yeah, I think it's actually nitpicking, so let's leave that for what it is. Now, another thing, you know, that has come to mind, really, is speed differences in our network and how we should deal with them, really. And my theory on that is that currently the speed differences aren't really that big. I think they're like 30 kilometers max. So it's not like, you know, if one train is faster than the other, it's not like he'll overtake him in like a second or two. But that will happen in the future, I think. You know, the differences will only become bigger and bigger. And when that happens, what we need is more crossings over here. So And to that end, I don't think it would be bad to just add a few more crossings here and there. Because occasionally it can happen, you know, that a train just falls behind a slower train, really. And, you know, or a train that has had a breakdown and thus had its max speed reduced. So when that happens, oh, and by the way, I also see that over here I should address this, because this is bad. Oh, there. Yeah. Besides, this is a junction. What we need over here right in front is something like this. There. So that whenever a train joins, then it can quickly skip lane. You know, when it comes from over there. Right. Now that we got that addressed. Yeah, and then we don't need this one. I mean, this one's pretty pointless, really. I don't know what. I think it was for the building of these tracks that I have put it in there, but it's pretty pointless right now. Good. That's this one done then. There was another thing, I believe, but I kind of don't really recall what it is. Yeah, we should really also see that we get one over here. Though, the thing is, you know, we have this one, which also really serves to get to this station. Oh, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, I now know where that crossing was for again. And we are gonna need it, but we are gonna locate it like right over here. And we're gonna make it one way, really, so. Let's see, we need to remove this signal for it. There, right. That's all we really need to do. There. Then we need to make these pretty pathing signals, and done. Over here things look pretty alright. This is just single lane anyway, so there's no real need for crossings. But yeah, it's all about, you know, traffic analysis, really. And, well, as far as I noticed, I mean, over here it is important to have one crossing actually. See, the thing is, basically what we do is there is traffic that needs to go over here, you know, to this direction, that needs to be in the outer lane. Now if that isn't in the outer lane when it comes in, which is just a pretty possible, then it needs to make the switch over here already, which will kind of clog up our station. So I'd rather have it, they make the switch over here, than just block all the traffic over here. However, what we could do, and what I think would be a smart idea, is to also have a switch over here, so that they can make said switch, you know, to the outer lane at an earlier point if the need for it is there. So we'll place one more right after these tunnels. There. I mean, signals are in place too, so that makes it rather easy. There. Yes. Now that should alleviate it a little bit, because I think that a train, you know, will try over here first, and if it's not possible, it will try one later. So there's like 3 chances, you know. Well, because if it is over here, this is like the last resort thing. And the more chances we give it to switch, you know, the less traffic jams we'll have over here, and we'll distribute it more, really. So, yeah. Alright, that's good. Then, I don't think there is much else. The thing is, you know, that we provide lots, and I really mean lots of directions for all our traffic and exits and all that. So we don't really need, you know, that many crossings. But another one, which I mean, we have one over here. I think that we should remove this track over here. I think we really should. This one's just causing pileups everywhere, you know. It's like 3 tracks joining into one, whilst, yeah, you know, there's no real need for it. So we'll remove this. I mean, it leads to, we have a crossing over here, you know, if the need is there. But I think this will improve the flow of traffic. Because right now the inner lane just gets way too much traffic, and then afterwards they will just switch to the outer lane again, even if they chose the inner lane over here. So, yeah, I like this. I mean, tracks join up here anyway, which is actually a thing, because it's so crowded with traffic over here. I am considering still to make this 6th lane. However, for now, I think it's fine. It's just that this point over here will always be busy, so therefore we need tight signaling. Right, now I think those are pretty much, the final details that we needed to add over here. I think for the rest, our network is mighty fine. So, let's get to the real building. Oh, and by the way, here you see a more busy moment of this station and of these tracks here. Yes, this is really busy. It is really stretched to its maximum capacity. But, well, they will do fine. Let's quickly check on the amount of... Oh yeah, it is slowly going up, really slowly. We have a really small surplus in production. Ah man, that's good. A plan, I love it when a plan comes together. Famous quote by me. Oh wait, no, not really, but... Now well, you know what? First thing we should do really is get this a proper upgrade, because right now, as you can see, everything's clogging up because over here it isn't really dealt with properly, So we get pileups, we get waves of traffic, whilst we should just have smooth sailing traffic, really. Which means that we will pretty much have to upgrade everything up until here, basically. So that's a lot, but let's get started to it, right? Alright, well that went actually pretty smooth, and, well, so smooth in fact, that I think it's looking pretty good really. Smooth and good looking, well operating, and this time with the switches in the proper place right from the get-go. Now, immediately I see that it has good effects. Because no more pile-ups, no. Well, of course that doesn't change anything over here really, where it's still crowded, still busy, and well, the only way to solve this would be to add one more track over here and expand everything just a little bit more even. Well, actually, we would have to relocate the bridge over here, but still, you know, I mean, that would be the only option, really. No, I think we'll just have to cope with how it is for now. I don't think, you know, that the occasional traffic jam warrants it. However, we're gonna do another quick check on our engineering supplies are down, but that might be because one or two trains might have just taken a load of those supplies. I see one small one, and if a big one just took it, then there's like a chunk of 300 missing, and if that were the case, then it would actually still be climbing up. And I think that is the case, really. I see this really big train, which I think is a supply one. Yeah, it is. Yeah, right, so it is still climbing. Luckily, it was just an unfortunate moment to check on the supplies, because I think see, you're also a supply train, so, and I saw another one leaving here not that long ago, I believe, so, right, good. I mean, that puts my mind to ease, at least. Now, it is time that we hook up, let's see, where are they? These two coal mines. The Nihil coal mine and the, how are you called? The Fenwell coal mine. Now the thing is, with these coal mines, is they're quite far out there. Now what we could do is, you know, hook these up by train, and then bridge it, you know, and then have them go all the way across, all the way like this, past this very busy point and all that, you know. There's a lot of traffic over here too, which unfortunately also comes in waves. I don't like that really, you know, to stress this out even further. And we do have naval access over here too for our coal. And since coal is not really reliant on speed, I think we should play the Navy card over here. So all that we're really going to need is just a simple single lane track line with a one direction junction, you know, that goes up to, well, this direction over here. And that should be all that we need. So, to that end, you know, because it's all gonna be simple, and we're gonna ship it off to, to this coal mine over here anyway. The stations don't need to be big, the track doesn't need to be efficient, so yeah, let's get these coal mines hooked up. And we're just gonna start out with the coal mines set up in such a way that, you know, they produce without engineering supplies, and then we can always supply them afterwards. So here it goes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we have it now. We have one of our biggest boats here. Now, I think we employ these as well on our more productive fishing lines, but this is quite a big ship. And we have a train over here, never seen before on our network. It is the very slow, but very powerful Lima C class. And yeah, over here you might think like, what, train 70? But that's because I've cut down the numbers a little bit. So, you know, when I remove a few trains, it will just pick up the lowest number available. So that's why. Now you might also think like this is a pretty odd setup for this, but this is intentional because there will only ever be one train moving in between these coal mines. We can just tag on some wagons that will carry the engineering supplies from this ferry station if the need's there for it. So, you know, this is basically just saving me like, you know, a complete second lane to build and a second bridge and all that. And as well some station tiles. So yeah, this is the most economic option. Now of course what we do need to do is we need to start shipping them engineering supplies to over here. And well, for now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna move them over here and we're gonna transfer one over here. So let's quickly get the train sorted for it. I don't know though if it will be quick enough to do it twice. So we'll have one delivery and one transfer. It could be that it, well, you know, it will be outside of the 3-month period, so to say, and in that case we'll have to figure out something else. But first let's set up our engineering supply train, which I think there's a good chance it might be the shortest train ever to have seen our network. Yeah, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a 1, and I kid you not, a 1, actually, 20 or 22. We cannot have this express wagon because I believe that the limit for going over into double production was actually 21. So if we deliver only 20, we won't really do anything effectively. So right, it's a good, again, sharp notice of me. You know? It's good that I'm paying attention to whatever I'm doing, unlike the usual. Right, now we will go and to over there, near end 2, and then we'll have to go back towards over there, and another time over there, and this time, wait, hold on a second, how did I just, this isn't really what we need, and I can't of course move them down, so if I then go stand over here though, and I click on this station. There, that's more like it. Right. The coal mine needs to be to the near end though. Everything needs to be to the near end. Radio. It looks all very good. We will do one with the unload and do not take cargo. The other one will be a transfer. So we can supply both mines. Right, well there it goes, our shortest train in history. Should also be the fastest, at least the fastest one accelerating really. I mean, it's all smoke and steam and clouds. But yeah, this, do you see that? It actually decelerates for these curves. Huh, that's interesting. Ah well. In any case, SpeedyNet has now hooked up these two coal mines, and hopefully soon we will start seeing the farm supply production over here go up, which it should be going up over here right now. I think we just had a train depart full of farm supplies, and if not, I mean, then they were very slowly declining, because I took out those 2 wagons pretty much like at the start of my whole balancing act with all the crashes happening, and ever since it has dropped from like 1400 to this. So it might be dropping very, very slowly, or we might just be looking at the wrong time and the wrong moment at this. Could also be the case. Regardless, we should have some increase right now, and if I'm not mistaken, ooh, look at that, you carry actual coal, and look at how big this is and how small they are. A lovely sight as well to end this video on. So join me next time when hopefully we will have found that we have a profit explosion from our farms. But if that will happen, you will find out next time when we play more OpenTTD.